Okay, now we're ready to start painting the robe here. So the first thing I'm going to do is soak it down. And again, notice the color change as I do this. Kind of got a golden look to it. I always tell people that basswood like this in its state right now is kind of like a body with no blood in it. And when we're painting it, you know, skin tones and things like that, we're putting the blood back in the body. But we still have to allow for this color here. If you've ever been to a biology class or whatever and seen jars of things in formaldehyde, that's just about the color it is right there. Okay, so to do this now, I'm going to use dark burnt umber. This is some I've mixed up myself. I just took a bottle of burnt umber and put some black in it to get it to the color that I want. Burnt umber, asphaltum, and raw sienna should do the trick, at least for the upper part here. For the lower part, that's a different story. Right now we're going to do the upper part. So it's good and soaked, so I'm going to start with the lightest color, which is asphaltum. I don't have much in here, that's why it's splattering it. I put some water in there to get as much out of this bottle as I can. I think I might even put some more water in there just to see if I can get some more out of it. Use my big brush here. And I'm going to paint the whole thing this color. So you can see where I'm going, so Judy can stop the camera and we'll come back when I get ready to do the next part. Okay, I've got me some burnt umber now. Squeeze out a little bit of that, won't need very much. What I'm going to do now is just accentuate the low points of the robe. Okay. Now I'm going to put out some dark burnt umber. You can see that's pretty dark. get out most of the water from my brush here. And paint. And start blending these together now. It's darker on that side. When I'm texturing the wood, I use a stoning wheel to make all my little grooves. I try to do it to where there's some kind of rhythm to the fur where it looks like it's coming up and going out. And then after I do that, I take a welding brush, a little welding brush, and brush out as much of the fuzz I can with the with that brush. And then a final step is I get out my butane torch and torch that area, torch the whole thing to get rid of all the fuzz that I can. And that has a tendency to burn the wood. And this side is a little more burnt than the other side, but that's okay. I can even it out with the paint. That looks pretty good. Okay. Next step is the raw sienna here. Really old paint on the top. Yeah. Brush here. Yeah. This is a low quality brush. Now I'm not going to get my brush wet for this stuff. I'm going to start highlighting the higher parts of the robe. The fur of this is basically, in real life, the fur is just all one color, generally, like the back of a buffalo's hump would be pretty much one color. But when you look at it, because of the light reflecting off the buffalo's robe in conjunction with the surroundings that he might be in at the time, that's what causes the highlights. So when you're painting a picture or anything, you know, you have to take all that into consideration. And it's the same painting wood carvings. You're basically, you know, you're just acting like the surrounding area that the thing might be in at the time. And that's what we're doing. Starting to look pretty good. That's a little heavy right there, so I'm going to tone that down a little. Capture some of my shadows here. That got a little dark. Right there. I think I'm going to leave that. That looks really pretty. Okay, I'll leave that. Now what I'm going to do is with my color dryer is dry this. And you notice how the color went dead? The drier it got, it lost a lot of the color. Well, again, when you varnish it, that's all going to come back again. Trust me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a real light tan . Way too much paint, but and I'm going to take my brush. Again, this is a watercolor brush, old thing. I'm going to dip a little in there. Not a lot, just a little. more. Around where the neck is. And that looks pretty good. I think. What do you think? Okay. And I think that's going to do it for today. Let's just put his head on here for a second, see what he looks like. He looks kind of regal, doesn't he? Okay, so next one, we'll start doing the lower part here. Okay? So until then, I'll talk to you later.